Hello friends, I'm Ramesh Panikar on behalf of KNA Kerala NEET Academy. Today we will be discussing some points regarding redox. Alright, in redox there are so many things. One is how to find out the oxidation state on the basis of some basic rules. Because what happens sometimes we are given questions like say Na2S4O6, alright, sodium tetrathionate, and find out the oxidation state of sulfur. So if you find out oxidation state of sulfur in normal manner, that is 2 plus 4x minus 12 equal to 0. So 4x equal to 10 and x equal to, you say, 2.5. But in the option you won't find 2.5. Rather you will be given different values. So like for that you must know the structure of sodium tetrathionate. This is the structure of sodium tetrathionate. Alright, this is sodium tetrathionate, or the structure will be mentioned. Alright, now what is the basis? The basis is if two similar atoms are bonded, like if A and A, they are bonded with the help of single bond, double bond, or triple bond, they are awarded zero oxidation state for these bonds. Like if we are given hydrogen, due to this bond, due to this covalent bond, hydrogen atoms are given zero oxidation states. Like oxygen, they are doubly bonded, both the oxygen, they are awarded zero oxidation state. Or if we have nitrogen, they are similar atoms, they are triply bonded, zero oxidation state. So this is the first rule. Alright, very simple. If two similar atoms are bonded, like here the sulfur is bonded to sulfur and sulfur, so due to this bond, this sulfur is awarded and this one is awarded zero oxidation states. Alright, due to this bond, this sulfur is also awarded zero. For this bond, this sulfur is awarded zero oxidation state. Alright, then the rule says if two atoms are bonded and one is electropositive and the other one is electronegative, if they are singly bonded, the electropositive atom due to this single covalent bond is given +1 and this electronegative atom is given -1. If they are doubly bonded, then +2 -2. And then if they are triply bonded, +3 and -3. And if there is a coordinate bond between A and B, due to this coordinate bond, +2 -2. And if the direction of the coordinate bond is from electronegative to electropositive, then they are awarded zero oxidation states. These are called basic rules. So on the basis of this, now we can say, look at the sulfur. The sulfur is doubly bonded to oxygen and oxygen is more electronegative. So oxygen is awarded -2 and the sulfur is given +2. Now look at these two bonds. So for these two bonds, oxygen is given -2 and sulfur is given +2 for these two bonds. Now look at left hand side. For this single bond, oxygen is given -1 and sulfur is given +1. So overall, if you look at sulfur, we have +2 +4 5, +2 +4 +2 +4 +1 +5, and this is 0 due to this bond. Alright, so overall we have 5. Similarly, this sulfur, look at these two bonds. Due to these two bonds, oxygen is given -2, sulfur is given +2. Due to these two bonds, oxygen is given -2, sulfur is given +2. Due to this single bond, sulfur is given +1 and oxygen is given -1. So look at this sulfur again, 4 + 1 5. So 2 sulfur, they are showing plus 5 oxidation state, and 2 sulfur are showing 0 oxidation state. So similarly, if we are given hydrogen cyanide, alright, you cannot calculate oxidation state of carbon and nitrogen because we don't have any rules for carbon and nitrogen. Both are variables. So again, this rule is used. So hydrogen and carbon, out of hydrogen and carbon, hydrogen is electropositive, hydrogen is given +1, carbon is given -1 due to this bond. And due to these three bonds, carbon is given +3 and nitrogen is given -3. So overall carbon has +2 charge. Alright, look at HNC. HNC. Due to this single bond, hydrogen +1, nitrogen -1. Due to these two bonds, -2 nitrogen, and due to these two bonds, carbon is given +2. Now look at the coordinate bond. Alright, from electronegative to electropositive. From electronegative to electropositive means we don't have any contribution. Alright, 0 0. So overall nitrogen is -3, carbon is +2, and hydrogen is +1, like that. Alright, so like if you have CH3 CHO, alright, look at this carbon. Due to these three bonds, this bond +1 means carbon is -1, I'm sorry, hydrogen is +1, +1, +1, -1, -1. Due to similar atoms, 0. So due to these three, -1, -2 and -3, carbon, and due to this bond, 0. Alright, now due to these two bonds, +2, oxygen -2 due to these two bonds. Due to this bond, hydrogen is given +1, carbon is given -1. So overall this carbon has +1 charge, alright, and this carbon has -3 charge. Alright, so this is how we calculate oxidation state on the basis of some basic rules. Then we have oxidizing agents and reducing agent. If a reaction is given, like this is MnO4 negative plus H2S, that gives Mn2 positive plus sulfur. If a reaction is given, it is very simple to find oxidizing agent and reducing agent. What you have to do, simply find out the oxidation state of the central atom. It is +7 and +2. So Mn, the oxidation state is reduced. If oxidation state is reduced, that means it is self-reduced. So its function is opposite. It acts as oxidizing agent. And H2S, find out the oxidation state of the central atom. Oxidation state of sulfur is -2, and in the product it is 0. So there is increase in oxidation state. Means H2S, we will say that it is oxidized. And if it is self-oxidized, function is reducing agent. So it is very simple. Find out the oxidation state of central atom in left hand side and right hand side. Alright, and if there is increase in oxidation state, it is self-oxidized, function is reducing agent. And if there is decrease in oxidation state, that means it is self-reduced, function is oxidizing agent. Alright. And if we are not given a reaction, simply a compound is given, like HNO3, or any ion is given, like we are given SO42 negative. What is the function? Again the same thing, find out the oxidation state, +5 and +6. If the oxidation state of the central atom is highest, what is the central atom? Central atom is normally single atom. But if we have more than one single atom, then hydrogen is never central atom. You should be careful. Hydrogen is never central atom because it cannot expand its valency. It is always 1. Alright. So find out the oxidation state of the central atom. If this oxidation state is highest, means it is equal to valence electrons. What is the valence electrons of nitrogen? It is S2p3. So what is the highest possible oxidation state? +5. Sulfur. Now this is a different issue, that nitrogen does not form compounds like NCl5. That is a different issue, or NF5. Alright, due to absence of d subshell. Otherwise, the highest possible oxidation state of nitrogen is +5. Sulfur, it is S2P4. So highest possible oxidation state is +6. So if the oxidation state of the central atom is highest, they cannot further be increased, they can be reduced. So if they are self-reduced, function is oxidizing agent. So it is very simple that in a given molecule or ion, if the oxidation state of the central atom is highest, it will behave as oxidizing agent. If it is lowest, like if we are given H2S and Hi, -1, -2, lowest possible oxidation state is valence electrons -8. Like sulfur, it is 6 minus 8 equal to -2, iodine 7 minus 8 equal to -1. So if the oxidation state of the central atom is lowest, that means it can be further oxidized. So means they can be oxidized means function is reducing agent. So if the oxidation state of the central atom is highest, they will behave as oxidizing agent. If it is lowest, they will behave as reducing agent. If it is neither highest nor lowest, like SO2, in SO2, if you look at SO2, in SO2, the oxidation state of central atom is neither highest +6 nor lowest -2, then such compounds can behave like oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Alright, so this is it.